Despite A Song of Ice and Fire being supposedly unpredictable, it's highly unlikely that the Lannisters in general, or the Lioness in particular, will win the Game of Thrones. She has made far too many enemies and, in the words of Tywin, is nowhere near as clever as she thinks she is. She will be killed. The only question is, by whom? Well, so far the fictional character has lived her life under the shadow of the supposed prophecy delivered to her when she was still a young girl. It claims that she will die at the hands of the Valonqar, the Valyrian word for little brother. Seeing as George has made her life mostly fit this prophecy so far, there's little reason to doubt that she will indeed be killed by a Valonqar. The only question is, which one? The most obvious choice is her younger brother Tyrion. She clearly believes it is him, which explains why she has been so hateful towards him throughout the whole series. Wouldn't you be terrified of and despise a man who you believe will ultimately kill you? This is partially why she is so quick to conclude that Tyrion was behind Joffrey's murder. And certainly, Tyrion is now on his villain era and has expressed in rather dark terms his desire to kill her on multiple occasions in A Dance with Dragons. However, having Tyrion as the Valonqar seems a little bit too obvious, and Martin usually likes to be subversive, so it's pretty unlikely that he will kill his sister. On the other hand, the theory that Sandor Clegane will kill her goes hand in hand with everyone's favourite Clegane Bowl theory. The idea that the Hound is not in fact dead is basically confirmed, both by the show and by the fact that so good a character needs a more epic death. Seeing as Sandor was indeed the younger son of the Clegane family, this theory supposes that the Hound will seek out his brother, Gregor, to kill him, and thereby come into conflict with the Lioness, whom the Mountain is protecting. In other words, a scene like what we saw in Season 8. However, unlike in the show, the theory supposes that the Hound will kill her first, and then fight Gregor. However, I think this theory is kind of underwhelming, as the Hound and the Lioness don't really have any history together, and the Hound doesn't really have much against her. Another theory suggests that, if she dies like she does in the show, being literally buried under the Red Keep, then the man who built the Red Keep, Maegor the Cruel, would be counted as her killer. And, funnily enough, Maegor was indeed the younger son of the Conqueror, and so he could technically fit the description. However, I think everyone would be very disappointed if that was indeed the ending, so I rate it unlikely. The final and most likely candidate is Jaime, her brother and incestuous lover. However, whilst the two were initially inseparable, Jaime has been trying to redeem himself recently and refused to come to her rescue in A Feast for Crows. The theory suggests that Jaime fully redeems himself by killing the woman he once loved, and whom he now recognises as destructive. It's certainly poetic. There is only one problem. The two were twins, weren't they? Well, technically the Lioness was the first to emerge from her mother, followed by Jaime a few seconds later, making him technically her Valonqar. This would be a very poetic end, and she would certainly not imagine that Jaime would be the brother who's coming to kill her.